with On the Rise Music. Sitting here with Jesse Booker, aka Jay Novel. How you doing, man?
Excellent. How you doing?
I'm all right. All right. So I know you used to rap, man. You had a group called Ball Start, and did you quit rapping for good? And if so, was there a reason behind it, or you just decided to focus your energy elsewhere?
Yeah, in October of 2012, we launched a website called rapscene.com. And when we launched the website, I decided that it wouldn't make any sense for me to try and promote other artists while promoting myself. I just felt like it would be a conflict of interest, so I stopped rapping for myself to help others try and get their name out there, give them a platform, an opportunity to get their voices heard and get their vision out there. So I felt like if I was essentially competing with the people on my website, it wouldn't be fair to them. So take a step back personally to try and help others.
Right. How did the idea of Rap Scene come about?
Mr. Wicked from Milwaukee actually was one of the pioneers of Racine hip hop down here in Racine, and he came to me with the idea of a website that was going to embrace everybody, not just the people who made a name for themselves, but we want to find the kids who just started out rapping. We want to create an even level, or just even out the playing field. You know, not just help those out who have the means, but help those out who don't, and let the fans decide who would be the best of the best, essentially, and try and help everybody because, you know, we remember what it was like to be the underdog. You know, that was one of the first videos we shot for an artist, was Underdog, because we remember what it was like when nobody would embrace you, when you had to do everything on your own, when you couldn't get venues, you know, you couldn't get into a studio, you couldn't find a photographer to take a picture for you. You know, we wanted to be the go-to guys, you know, the go-to website for local hip-hop in its purest form, with no politics, with no, you know, worry about would you be on there or not based on what you've accomplished. We wanted everybody to have an opportunity to be heard.
Right. Okay. So I'm not too familiar with Racine, but I know in cities like Milwaukee, there's a lot of hating going on from artist to artist, and there's not really a strong support system amongst musicians. You know, everybody's trying to focus on themselves, and, you know, nobody's trying to push each other, it's everybody trying to push themselves. And in a sense, that's how you got to be. But I mean, you know, you just said a little bit how Rap Scene came about, but you personally, what made you say, I'm gonna flip the script instead of everybody hating on each other, I'm gonna flip the script and give everybody a platform? You personally, what made you do that?
We felt like it was necessary. You know, I mean, that's the thing. In hip hop music, you know, there's not many venues that support you. The city doesn't really get behind you. With rap, almost anybody with a microphone and a computer can be a rapper. Essentially, you know, it takes a lot of time to learn how to play a saxophone. It takes a lot of time to learn how to master a guitar or be phenomenal on a piano or be an amazing singer. But in 2014, if you can string any type of words together and put a beat behind it, everybody feels like they have a chance of getting a record deal. So the issue with hip hop essentially is that nobody wants to put in any work and everybody wants to make $1 million. So why should I support you when I can do the same thing you're doing, is the mindset, unfortunately. You know, you turn on the radio, no matter what time of day it is, you listen to hip-hop music, you're not going to be impressed lyrically, or at least I'm not. You know, I'm from the old school where it took thought to write a verse. You know, it took time. You wanted to make sure that everything was cohesive, that everything rhymed. You know, I hear too many times now, I hear raps that don't even rhyme. You know, mindless babble, essentially, in my opinion, from what I see and what I hear. So I wanted to create a place to where no matter who was supporting you or not, the fans would decide the quality of your music. You know, sometimes we'll put a video up there that I might not be a fan of that'll get the most likes on Facebook or the most tweets or the most views or whatnot. That's what helps me gauge what the fans are listening for in comparison to what I listen to. You know, I mean, so the biggest thing is, as a rapper, I feel like relationships are what's most important.
Right.
You know, you can't just make it by just rapping anymore. Rapping is 5% maximum of what you have to be able to do to get a deal. Now you either have to have cash flow or you have to know how to build relationships, to work with people, to work with promoters, venues, DJs, radio hosts, to know how to get your way through the door to make something happen, essentially.
I agree, man. So what is your end goal with Rap Scene?
I mean, I would like it to be my job at some point, or my, you know, like right now it's a hobby. You know, I have a career that helps me pay my bills. I would like to be able to sit back and be like a Two Dope Boys. You know, I never want to be like a world star. I'm not a fan of world star hip hop. To me, it's too much ignorance. It's not hip hop, and to me it's like the ignorant CNN. You know, the worst of the worst videos you can find are usually on World Star. It's most of the time for a laugh. You know, it's entertainment, but to me it's not hip hop. You know, we would like to be on the level of a Two Dope Boys. You know, like the best of the best. Like if your video, your mixtape gets on there, you know you made something, you've accomplished something. And right now we have appreciation nationwide and somewhat worldwide, because we've had artists from around the globe submit music to us. And it seems like right now those people are the most appreciative of what we're doing. You know, artists from Montana, artists from Florida, California, North Carolina, forever grateful for us reaching out. But locally we just don't have that foothold or that appreciation to that level, because a lot of local artists understand that all you essentially have to do is submit something to get on Rap Scene. You know, it would be nice to have sponsors to pay the bills. That's about what we'll never do, is ask an artist for $1 or a dime. You know, we're not in the business to make money off of the artist, which you'll see from a lot of other places. You can get on World Star for $7.50. You know, you could buy YouTube views, you could buy Twitter followers. We're not in that business. We're trying to support artists, but it would be nice to one day see somebody on, we'll say, like a Golden Globe. I don't know, that's thinking, you know, big, but, you know, MTV Music Awards, to see somebody on television, for them to go, you know, and I definitely want to shout out Rap Scene for being the first people that supported me. You know, it would be great to see an artist from our website blow up, you know, to get a record deal, to get a distribution deal. I mean, that is what would be the payoff, essentially. But right now, the following we have, the support we have is amazing.
And I agree with you 100%, man. 9 out of 10 people out here do charge to
For anything.
yes.
For everything.
So, is there anything you do now regarding music besides run the Rap Scene site?
No, I mean, I'm more, you know, Wicked calls me the face of Rap Scene. You know, he's the CEO, he's the power behind the movement, you know, and I'm the gentleman who, you know, sets up venues, you know, events like March 8th we have Pray for Drew benefit concert going on. You know, I make those things happen. I help set the lineups. You know, right now we're putting together an album that'll be 100% radio ready. It'll be swear word free, 100% original instrumentals. Different artists from all around the U.S. who've been on the website will be on the album. But I'm the guy who's always trying to take it one step further. What's the next thing we can do? How can we use hip-hop to have a positive influence in the community? Because yes, hip-hop is music, but it's also a lifestyle. You know, if we could do Habitat for Humanity and I bring 50 rappers to a place and we build a house for a homeless family, and at the end I just say we're all here on behalf of rapscene.com, everything's cool. But if I told somebody I'm going to bring 50 rappers with me, they might look at it a different way.
Right.
So if you let them know at the end that these are 50 rappers that helped you, that's going to put a completely different spin on what we just did. You know, trying to break the mold and break the stereotype of rap is ignorance. The World Star perception, essentially.
Right. Okay, so, I mean, I've spoken with you before, and you told me that when you and the other guy from Ball Star was performing, you guys were the ones who booked your own shows, you got paid for them. What advice can you give to other artists who are trying to achieve the same thing? I mean, obviously you have a decent following and stage presence and all that good stuff. You got to have that. But is there anything to avoid saying when speaking to club owners or business owners trying to get in there?
It's all about relationships. I mean, the last thing you want to do is say, hi, I'm rapper Johnny Blockhead, and I want to perform here 3 weeks from now. You know, I mean, they get that all the time. You know, DJs, you can't just spam them with your link. You know, hey DJ, listen to my song. They get that all the time. You have to be different. You go into a club and you hang out, you patronize the place. You know, you pay money, you spend money there, you buy drinks or whatever. I don't drink myself, but I understood the necessity of having a relationship with whoever it was that was making whatever happen. Knowledge from V100 knows who I am. He's made a video blog about the exact same thing. How I would go to somewhere Knowledge was, introduce myself and support him without saying, hey Knowledge, I rap, here's a CD. DJ GA from V100 knows who I am. Craig Carson from Kiss FM knows who I am. Wesson Riggs from 103.7 Kiss FM know who I am. Not because I'm a rapper, but because I'm a person that appreciates who they are. You know, show promoters, you want to meet them, you want to sit down with them, you want to break bread with them. You just have to, they have to like who you are. Essentially, anybody who's helping you do anything in this business, period, is doing you a favor. Why should somebody do you a favor in comparison to everybody else? Nobody cares that you can rap. I'm just going to be honest with you. What they will do is help you out because they like you. Like I said, there's 7 billion rappers within a 10-mile radius to where I'm at right now. What makes you the person different? Don't introduce yourself as, yo, what's up, man? For example, my name's Jay Novel. I've been rapping for 10 years. I open for 3 6 Mafia. I want to perform at your club next weekend. No. Hey, how you doing, sir, man? My name is Jesse Booker. I was just wondering, what has to happen essentially for a show to go on here? Has that happened before? Do you guys support hip-hop music? You need to really learn about the venue, learn about the show promoter, learn about what it takes to be friends with these people. And you're not being friends with them for a benefit for yourself, but because you understand the benefit of the relationship. That even if you're not on a show roster, you show up to that show and you show all those other rappers there that you're there to support them. You show the promoter, you show the bouncer, the bartender who can vouch for you. You make friends with the bartender at a bar or a venue, and you get a cosign from that bartender that's going to work great with the owner, instead of you just passing along a CD as your resume and hoping that they call you back. You have to be friends with people, man. You have to be likable. You have to shake hands and look people in the eye. That's the best advice that I can give somebody is be a person that people like to be around. Be a person that people enjoy. Be a person that people want to work with. They want to involve in things. That's the best advice I can give anybody.
Be a people person. Okay, so I know you work with a lot of people, man, so and this might be a hard question for you, but who are some of the most talented artists that you've heard so far?
From top to bottom, when it comes to everything, one of the most impressive people that I've ever met in the music business would be Asai Dio. Archie Morgan is his government name. If you want to look him up, it's ASIAHDIO. From when he was probably 18 years old, the kid just had a completely different sound. And not only did he have a different sound, but he was a really nice, humble individual. And not only that, but he produced all his own music. So not only could he produce music that was phenomenal, he had an amazing sound and he was a great person. And so not only did he make music, but his stage presence was amazing. So every show he did, I had to be there. Ear to ear, I'm grinning just because this guy just loved what he did. You could tell that. He was never forcing anything. And then he moved to chase his dream. He's moved to Florida. He's moving to Atlanta to actually pursue what he believes could be a career for him. And he's constantly growing and he's constantly building, and he is far and away, as far as everything it takes to make a great artist, he has the entire skill set. Now all he needs is somebody to believe that has the financial backing to make it happen, in my opinion. Like I said, if you listen to the radio, you don't have to be able to rap to make it. Somebody just has to back you. At some point, somebody put some money behind Chief Keef because they believed in him, and now he's all over the place. I don't think he could rap for anything, to keep it PG, but somebody believed, somebody put him out there, and boom. Now he gets paid $10,000 an appearance. When I look at artists like a Kevin Getson, who I believe have the lyrical ability, but may need help with the marketability, not something that I can help. I try to tell artists, just be yourself, so when you blow, the people who knew you originally don't say, man, this guy's a phony. I never had on a chain or, talking about, your lyrical content, that can expose you immediately, but as far as, I don't want to get off on too many tangents. Asai Dio, no question, the most talented individual as far as music is concerned. Kevin Getson, extremely talented lyrically. Anybody who's a dual threat. There's a young kid named Tyler Eshman who can sing and rap. Phenomenal. I know producers who I'm extremely proud of. There's B-Wee, there's B4 Lasers, who these guys are the guys you go to locally for production who are making things happen. And these are just local cats. There's a lot of talented Milwaukee artists. Prof, phenomenal, Pizzle. There's so many, Yo Dot. These guys who I haven't actually sat down with, but from the outside, looking in, those three have done a lot of good things. I've gotten their names out there. but I'd have to say Asai Dio for the simple fact that he's got everything and he's chased his dream. Black's Life as well, Adebisi, phenomenal talent.
Okay. So, I mean, there's a million rappers out here, man, like you said, and then, you know, a lot of listeners pick and choose carefully who they listen to. You know, for example, they might see something on YouTube with 200 views and automatically say, you know, not enough views is not good. So, you know, then they'll skip over it. In your opinion, what is the best way for an artist to get an organic following that, you know, they're not paying for? How do they get people to listen?
I feel like you have to do shows. You have to really beat the pavement. Like the people who want to try and start their own YouTube channel and all that good stuff, it's so hard because of the oversaturation. The quickest way for you to move units as far as albums go, like if you really want to really dive in and not just upload Dat Piff links, is shows. Shows. It separates you. So if you go to a show and you perform in front of 20 people, only 20, who've never met you before in your life, and you give them the best show that they saw that night, out of those 20, hopefully 5 remember your name, and those 5 go online and they find you. You know, they might follow you on Twitter. You have to have the same name for everything as well. So your Twitter can't be BusyB414. Your Facebook is, you know, BusyB spelled differently, Milwaukee. Then your Gmail is, you know, your government name at Gmail. And then your SoundCloud is a different alias you go by. So you want your name to be the same across the board. So if somebody just hears BusyB, they just Google it and hopefully they can find you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, everything I have is JNovel. JNovel. Facebook, JNovel, you know what I'm saying? Twitter, JNovel. Everything is JNovel. So if you Google JNovel, you can find who I am. JAYNOVEL. You can find me, you know? And so as far as separating yourself and building that and going from 200 views to your first video to 500 views, it's hard to really make a fan out of somebody who just watches a YouTube video one time. But if they meet you and they like you, they'll tell all their friends about you. Not only did they hear you could rap, but they met you, you rapped your butt off, and your music was off the chain. And they have a hard copy of a CD that they can play, so every time somebody hops in the whip, man, who is this? Oh, this is BusyB. Who's that? Oh, you can follow him on Twitter. All his information is right here. You have to have a presence outside of digital. Unfortunately, everybody thinks you can just upload YouTube videos and you're going to make it. Wrong. Those people are 1 in a million. You need to go to these shows. You need to have actual hard copies, not CDRs, but hard copies of your music. Or if you want to have CDRs, just have your best single and write your darn Twitter information on there. But that's the biggest struggle now because, like I said, oversaturation. You know, how do you legitimately make sure every single video you got is 1,000 views right when you upload it? I mean, that's tough. I don't know. I would just have a physical presence to start out, and then from there, you know, build from there.
Okay. And just last here, man, if you want to give your shout outs and your contact information, and I mean, I don't know if you want to give out your personal email or if you want to just direct people to the Rap Scene site, but go ahead and do your thing, man.
One shout out to you. I mean, BusyB, this is a beautiful thing, you know, to focus on local hip hop and try and shine a light on it, because I know, you know, there's a lot of places you can go where you'll see a guy on the street with a CD like, hey, you support local hip hop music, and you might pass that guy up. You know, I mean, I know it's hard for a lot of people to justify giving a stranger $5 for some music. You know, you might just be like, pull, and throw it out the window, or you might put it in and be great music. But I mean, to have a spotlight on what a lot of these artists are doing is beautiful. You know, rapscene.com is the website. I don't know if you can see it on my shirt. But if you go there, every artist on there is just an artist trying to make it. You know, nationwide. It's not just Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha. This is all over the U.S. I know too many people to shout out, man. I mean, shout out to anybody who's willing to support every artist who's doing music. Shout out to the gentleman who just downloaded Fruity Loops today, who's going to start making his beats, chasing his dream. You know, the 14-year-old who just decided he wanted to rap. I mean, a shout out to everybody who's been doing it for 10 years, 20 years, you know, the vets in the game locally who never really cared about making it big. People like Cuckoo Cal who still come back to collab with the local artists, man. I mean, I'm all for the underdog. You know, shout out to Wicked for sure, the CEO of rapscene.com. But you can follow me on Twitter at JNovel, JAYNOVEL. You can follow us on Twitter at Rapcine, RAPCINE. If you're an artist looking for exposure, if you'd like to send us your music or your video, your mixtape or album, you can send it to rapscene262@gmail.com. That's rapscene262@gmail.com. Make sure you have some type of an electronic press kit. You know, you want to have a bio, all of your contact information, some HD photographs, the link to your video or your album or your mixtape that you'd like promoted, your single. These things are so important, but they're so simple. You know, if you're an artist and you're trying to get exposure, have a nice photograph of yourself. You know, have some type of bio. So if somebody asks, who are you? You have 5 sentences at least that explain who you are. But I mean, I'm just here to try and help people progress. I mean, that's the bottom line. You know, if there's anybody that I can help, I do it because I love it. You know, you can reach out to me. My personal cell phone number, if you want it, 262-880-4326. You can call me directly. Text me, whatever. I'm here to help. Down in Racine, if you're not from Racine, reach out to me. We'll see what we can do as far as shows, venues, all that good stuff. But I mean, I'm just here to try and help whatever way I can, man. A salute to you for doing this and making it happen.
I appreciate it. All right, Busy Bee, we're on the rise music. Jay Nava, we out of here.